Well, Mrs. Rhodes is staying with us tonight. She's manless, and you must have seen how she looks at you.
Well, sure.
Here, let me help you. Come over here and sit down. I'll get you some, what do I sell here? Shoes. Yeah, shoes. Would you like one?
Let me handle this, Al.
An episode of a television series was unexpectedly and completely removed from broadcast in the United States. The entire original content was sealed in archives for 13 years, triggering a nationwide media crisis. The outrage of a wealthy lady triggered a widespread boycott, causing major corporations to withdraw their investments. The media focused its attention on this drastic ban. Nevertheless, an unexpected turn of events reversed the situation, transforming the threat of bankruptcy into a springboard for the unknown to become a popular icon.
Jefferson, looks like I owe you an apology. Here, let me help you out. There now, here. All right.
The following event chronicle will shed light on this historical development. The production of the third season of the sitcom, Married with Children, reached a significant milestone on January 6, 1989, at the Fox television studios. The entire production team and cast have completed filming for the 10th episode, titled I'll See You in Court. According to the previously approved schedule, the broadcasting system planned to air this episode on February 19, 1989. The plot revolves around the trip of the two main characters, Al Bundy and Peg Bundy, to a budget-friendly motel called the Hop-On Inn, initially with the intention of finding privacy to improve their increasingly strained marriage. At this location, the couple inadvertently discover a hidden recording device installed in their bedroom. Through the stored footage, they realize that their neighbors, Steve Rhodes and Marcy Rhodes, had also been victims of similar privacy violations. The situation escalates when the two families decide to join forces to file a civil lawsuit against the motel owner seeking compensation for emotional distress. The film shifts to the courtroom where Steve Rhodes takes on the role of legal representative. Nevertheless, his lengthy and academic arguments quickly bore the judge and court clerk. The turning point and the direct cause of the subsequent legal disputes arises when the jury requests the video evidence be shown during the public trial. Because Al Bundy's actions were so brief, the jury members repeatedly request the technician to slow down the footage in order to accurately analyze and assess the extent of the damage. Terry Rakolta, a conservative woman living in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, was watching television with her family when she inadvertently saw the 8th episode of Season 3, titled Her Cups Runneth Over. The episode depicted Al Bundy and her neighbor Steve Rhodes going to a lingerie store to buy a replacement bra for Peg Bundy. The images shown included an elderly man wearing women's garter clothing, female characters removing their clothing with their hands, and suggestive physical displays by a male character which deeply upset Terry Rakolta. Realizing that the content was completely inappropriate for a family living space with young children, she immediately called the production company's office to express her protest, but only received dismissive responses from the operator. The letter urged brands to take social responsibility in their sponsorship choices and demanded they stop funding a work she deemed morally corrupting. The impact of these letters quickly spread, with giant brands like Procter & Gamble McDonald's, Coca-Cola Johnson & Johnson, and tile and pharmaceutical companies simultaneously issuing official announcements withdrawing all investment and terminating advertising contracts with Fox. Nevertheless, producer Michael G. Moy flatly refused to make any edits, arguing that doing so would destroy the original comedic structure of the work. To protect commercial interests and quell public outrage, Fox's management ordered the entire original tape of the episode to be sealed in its archives, indefinitely rendering it a lost episode for the American public. Commenting on the network's harsh decision, screenwriter Michael G. Moy expressed his disapproval of the censorship system's blatant interference, stating, this episode was essentially just an exaggeration, like a harmless cartoon. This ban sparked intense discussion across major news outlets, with Terry Rakolta appearing on prominent commentary programs such as Nightline and The Phil Donahue Show to advocate for the formation of the Americans for Responsible Television Organization. The domestic broadcast ban lasted for many years until June 18, 2022, when the episode I'll See You in Court premiered on the American cable channel FX, but with 4 crucial lines of dialogue omitted. The complete removal of a television series from the official broadcast schedule left a huge void in the network's calendar, forcing the project leaders to urgently seek an alternative. The creators of the Bundy family now had to return to the foundations that laid the groundwork for the entire series. The journey to conquer audiences. The 1980s saw the absolute dominance of educational family sitcoms on American television screens. The public at the time was all too familiar with idealized models of perfect women and men, who always resolved internal conflicts with understanding tolerance and profound philosophical advice. The emergence of popular television shows like The Cosby Show and Family Ties inadvertently created a common standard, forcing all production companies to follow a common formula to maintain stable viewership and attract large advertising contracts. Every character appearing on television had to have a stable job, a decent income, and live in spacious, clean apartments where family members always showed each other absolute respect. It was this saturation of the formula that prompted 2 highly individualistic screenwriters, Michael G. Moy and Ron Levitt, to decide to revolutionize filmmaking and completely change the prevailing mindset. 2 content creators began sketching out a bold project with the initial title, Not the Cosbys, aiming for a complete contrast to contemporary trends. Their core idea was to portray a working-class family where the husband is weary from the burden of making ends meet, the wife is lazy with housework, and the children constantly tease each other, remain strangely connected. Nevertheless, when this script was submitted to the offices of the 3 major American television networks, ABC, CBS, and NBC, the 2 writers received blunt rejections and skepticism about the project's feasibility. The turning point came when actor Ed O'Neill walked into the audition room looking utterly exhausted. He didn't offer a formal greeting, but simply stood in the doorway, shoulders slumped, and let out a weary sigh, expressing the helplessness of a man weighed down by life. That spontaneous performance immediately convinced Michael G. Moy and Ron Levitt, as they recognized him as the flesh and blood embodiment of the Al Bundy character they had been searching for. Soon after, actress Katie Sagal also made a strong impression during her audition, preparing a vibrant red wig and tight-fitting, outdated costumes from the previous decade to create the look for the character Peg Bundy. The perfect chemistry between Ed O'Neill and Katie Sagal laid the foundation for the birth of one of the most unusual couples on television, alongside the young actors Christina Applegate and David Faustino as their mischievous children. On April 5, 1987, the first episode of the series officially aired on Fox, much to the anticipation of the entire production team and the network's management. Contrary to expectations of a blockbuster, viewership statistics for the first 2 seasons were extremely dismal, constantly putting the show at risk of cancellation due to its inability to compete in ratings with primetime programs on rival networks. This perseverance fostered stronger bonds between the actors on set, paving the way for seamless collaboration in handling increasingly daring script situations. Every piece, from the characters and settings to the artistic vision, was perfectly arranged, ready to face the greater challenges that awaited them. Media explosion. The wave of protests that emerged in the mass media in early 1989 quickly created a remarkable reversal effect in the American television market. Terry Raccolta's frequent appearances on evening commentary programs on major television networks and her prominent coverage in prestigious print newspapers inadvertently created a massive free advertising campaign for Married with Children. The public everywhere began to develop a great curiosity about a television program that was being labeled inappropriate, leading to a mass turn-on Fox every Sunday night to directly verify the content of the show. Viewership statistics recorded a phenomenal growth, with the number of viewers doubling in a short period, helping Fox achieve a record market share for the first time in a time slot directly competing with established giants. This dramatic increase in ratings quickly and completely changed the attitude of corporations towards funding the Bundy family. Realizing that the program's reach was approaching tens of millions, major brands that had previously announced their withdrawal quickly sought to re-engage and purchase advertising rights at significantly higher costs than before the crisis. Faced with this paradoxical and resounding success, members of the film crew reacted in unique ways to express their gratitude to the person who inadvertently saved the project. Actor Ed O'Neill and his co-star Katie Sagal agreed to establish a special tradition on set, personally preparing fresh flower arrangements and high-end fruit baskets to send directly to Terry Raccolta's home address in Michigan. The Bundy family's breakthrough in the 90s solidified the brand's dominant position and transformed it into one of the most influential pillars of popular culture at the time. The show consistently maintained its popularity with 11 consecutive seasons, breaking the stereotype of the short lifespan of unconventional sitcoms and becoming the perfect launching pad for the network's eccentric, edgy style. This phenomenal success proved that a large segment of the American working-class public craved to see the raw, unvarnished aspects of life reflected frankly on the small screen. The show's enduring success also paved the way for the subsequent emergence of a series of deeply satirical, animated, and comedic shows, permanently altering the content structure of the Western entertainment industry. This stable reputation allowed the filmmakers to further expand the show's influence into international markets through lucrative licensing deals. Tours and fan meet-and-greet events around the world transformed the familiar faces of the Bundy family into true cultural ambassadors. Nevertheless, behind the dazzling spotlight and the endless applause of the public, the private lives of the stars began to bear heavy pressure and painful personal tragedies. Peak of fame. The long journey of Married with Children left a strong mark by setting a record as the longest-running live-action sitcom in Fox's broadcasting history, with a total of 259 episodes. The perseverance of the writers and actors was rewarded with numerous prestigious nominations at the Golden Globe Awards, a clear testament to the work having transcended the boundaries of a controversial program to gain official professional recognition. The event that attracted particular attention from critics occurred when the original tape of the banned episode, containing 51 lines of old dialogue, was finally released on June 18, 2022, on the FX cable network, ending a 13-year period of dormancy in the National Archives. Alongside the dazzling glories on the small screen, the behind-the-scenes lives of the stars were fraught with incredibly harsh periods and painful personal tragedies. During the filming of the 6th season, actress Katie Sagal officially announced her pregnancy, prompting the producers to adjust the script to incorporate this event into the life of the character Peg Bundy. Nevertheless, a silent tragedy struck when the actress unexpectedly suffered a serious medical complication, resulting in the loss of her beloved child in the 7th month of her pregnancy. Actor Ed O'Neill and his co-star Amanda Bearse, who played their neighbor Marcy, were embroiled in a years-long conflict stemming from deep-seated disagreements in their daily lives. This conflict became even more public and intense after Amanda Bearse publicly revealed her sexual orientation, creating an invisible distance that meant the two stars barely interacted outside of filming. Constantly appearing in front of the media from such a young age, deprived her of a normal childhood, replacing it with relentless paparazzi pursuits and the invisible pressure of maintaining a perfect public image. The young actress had to make extraordinary efforts to both complete the demanding filming schedule and protect herself from the temptations and pitfalls of the volatile Hollywood entertainment industry. Every member of this on-screen family is paying a heavy price for the brand's phenomenal success. David Faustino's career growth as the youngest son also reflects significant efforts to escape the shadow of this iconic character. The decline in internal cohesion and the shift in management thinking among the new generation of executives at the television station have cast a big question mark over the future of the entire project. Those in charge are beginning to weigh whether to continue maintaining a program with increasingly expensive production costs or seek an honorable exit before it's too late. Warning signs of an inevitable end are beginning to appear clearly in the station's monthly financial reports. A transition in times. The shift in the entertainment market in the late 90s presented existential challenges to the survival of Married with Children. Audience viewership began to show a steady decline as the show entered its 11th season, a time when the public began seeking newer forms of entertainment. Along with the decline in ratings, the budget for maintaining production grew exponentially, especially as actor Ed O'Neill's salary reached $500,000 per episode. Faced with this difficult economic challenge, Fox's management made a decisive decision in 1997 to officially cancel the show without a final episode, thus ending its 11-year run. The abrupt termination by the network caused a wave of outrage within the cast, as stars like Ed O'Neill and Katie Sagal received no official notification beforehand. The entire cast only learned of the project's cancellation through articles in the mass media or from close friends in the entertainment industry. This lack of respect from the production company resulted in a quiet farewell for the Bundy family, without tears or public celebrations like other sitcoms of the time. But the incomplete ending, the main actors' careers continued to develop in separate paths, leaving their own distinct marks on the Hollywood market. Entering the new century, the Bundy family members continued to face harsh health challenges and the ups and downs of fate. Actress Christina Applegate shocked the public when she officially announced in 2021 that she was living with multiple sclerosis. This medical condition severely impaired her mobility, forcing the once young star to minimize her appearances on set to focus on long-term medical treatment. By the early months of 2026, Christina Applegate had actively returned to community activities, collaborating with former colleagues to organize large-scale fundraising programs to support patients in similar situations. The special relationship between the film crew and the woman who initiated the boycott campaign years ago has also seen unexpected changes over time. Now in her 80s, Mrs. Terry Raccolta enjoys a peaceful life in her hometown and dedicates much of her time to supporting the arts and social charity. In the rare instances she has spoken to the press about the shocking events of 1989, this conservative woman has openly acknowledged the ironic truth that her intervention inadvertently became the most brilliant advertising campaign for the show. This belated understanding from both sides has transformed the tensions and conflicts of the past into fascinating anecdotes in television history, where each side finds an honorable way out. The enduring vitality of this brand was once again firmly affirmed through special reunions of the original cast at the Wiltern Theater in Los Angeles. The event took place in an emotional atmosphere as veteran actor Ed O'Neill and his former co-stars took to the stage to share precious memories of the show's golden age. The enthusiastic support from generations of audience members in the theater proved that the genuine values the work offers can still withstand the ravages of time. This fervent support became a powerful impetus for the producers to embark on a bold plan to bring these iconic characters back to the screen. The revival project, in the form of an animated series developed by Sony Pictures Television, has officially entered its final stages of content and technical completion. All 4 original voice actors, Ed O'Neill, Katie Sagal, Christina Applegate, and David Faustino, have confirmed their participation in voicing their respective characters. The return of the brand in a new form of expression not only satisfies the longing of loyal fans, but also opens a new chapter for the work's development in the modern media environment. The freedom of animation is expected to allow the edgy comedic elements of the past to be fully showcased. The journey from a sealed-off episode to the promising revival of the Bundy family is the clearest evidence of a paradoxical rule of media. Sometimes the best way to immortalize something is to try to ban it. The resilience of the filmmakers and cast from back then has left an unparalleled legacy of popular culture, a symbol that defies all censorship limits. If you enjoy authentic and gritty film documentaries like this, don't forget to like, share widely, and subscribe to the channel today to not miss the next shocking behind-the-scenes stories. In particular, what are your thoughts on the 1989 banned episode, or will the upcoming animated version be a success? Please leave your comments below to join the discussion. Thank you for watching. Goodbye and see you in the next videos.